rage, stay in your lane, turn the page, but something woke up deep inside, a stronger voice, a wilder ride. I've paid my dues, I know my worth, I've fallen down, I've had rebirth. Now I'm standing in my truth, not chasing time, I'm choosing me. I've got wisdom in my bones, fire in my soul. This isn't the ending, this is the moment I take control. Life gets better after 40, clearer vision, brighter glow. I'm not fading, I'm ascending. This is the best I've ever known. Stronger, bolder, unapologetic. I'm just getting started, don't you see? 40's forward, this is my time. The future's finally looking like me.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is another episode of 40s Forward. I am very excited because today we're going to be talking with Celestine Runu. She is a clairvoyant psychic, coach, author, poet, speaker, and an energy alchemist. And I find what she does absolutely amazing. So she is a journey of the soul, quantum leap, bridging across timeline. She does energetic surgery and helps to awaken the inner core potential. This is one of her strengths. And she has been doing this like for a lifetime of coaching. She does life coaching and one-on-one coaching and group coaching. And I think this is really important that we're talking about this, especially for people 40s and over. And I think the reason is, we were talking about this before we turned the recording on, is a lot of times people start hitting their 40s and all of a sudden you start questioning yourself. Like, what am I doing? What is my purpose? Like, what is the meaning of all of this? And again, that's like this existential, like midlife crisis that we hear about. But, that's why I think what you do is so important. So thank you so much, Celestine, for being with us today.
Thank you, Dr. Betsy, for having me here. And I love such conversations that just flow. There's no preset format. There's no questionnaire that you sent me. And we'll be going naturally with the flow. It's so beautiful. And you rightly said at 40s, earlier we used to call it a midlife crisis. I call it a beautiful reset button. It's time when we have learned it all, what this world is like, what people are like, what the physics, chemistry, history of this globe, this earth, people around us, we've gained enough experience. And now is the time to set that reset button. I always used to say that life begins at 40. Yes. Because we are more mature, we are more experienced. And now this new knowledge is knocking our doors, where we not only understand what we are as a mind-body system, but what we are as a mind-body energy system. So we have our energy meridians, we have chakras, energy centers, and we have that blueprint, which is very connected to our endocrine system, and it can be very beautifully explained with neuroscience. So I work at a transaction of spirituality and science, weave it together so that our physical-based mind, body, and brain system can understand it well, and we can weave it in our life. And there's so many techniques that I teach, where age reversal, we can activate our own age reversal. So I would love to talk about all of that in today's podcast.
I definitely need the age reversal thing. So we definitely need to do some of that. So how did you get into this line of work?
So it's very interesting. I was always very intuitive right from my childhood, but I thought that everybody is. You assume. Yeah. And I'm a very visual person, so I used to see things, and I was like vision. So I was like, maybe that's what it is for everybody. I never questioned it. For me, that was natural. So and I always lived a life of flow, like naturally flowing. So I amazingly, by a turn of events, found myself studying psychology in my undergrad, which was not planned, but suddenly the door opened and I'm like, wow, this is what I want to do. So many things started getting triggered from when I was studying psychology, and I realized many things like, what is this unconscious? I understand the scheme of things of this universe, where every seed knows which color flower, every planet knows. There's no track, like a railway track, but the planets are moving in synchronicity. So I understood the basic synchronicity and logic in the nature. So I was like, I have this system. I understand my conscious mind, my subconscious mind. Why do we have unconscious? Which scientists and psychologists at that time used to say, oh, things that we can't deal with, the fears and all is stored. But it did not, satisfy me. I was like, there's something more to it. There is a part of me I should be able to access. Why is it locked? So my questioning started from there. And I say that curiosity and questioning is the beginning of evolution. If we don't wonder, if we don't ask why it is like this, we'll never want to go deeper and find it out. So that's how it began for me. And then I wanted to become a counselor after psychology, because I was a very, what should I say, counselor type of a person, solving my friends' problems and all. But I realized I was very empathetic. So I was an empath, but there was no term called empath back there in early 90s when I was doing my undergrad. So I decided, no, this is not my cup of tea. Others' emotions stay with me. So I decided another thing which was very close to me, my heart, was art. So I became a designer. I was designing magazine. I became a creative director. And that's when, again, after 10, 15 years, my calling came. And that's when designing a book for wellness holidays, we chanced upon some healing therapies, and I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. So that's when I started learning pranic healing, hypnotherapy, and my inner gift triggered. I started seeing past lives for myself and for others without any process. And I started, telling people, this is what I say. How do you know this? I've never shared this. I said, your energy is talking. So energy talks big time. If we fine tune our inner systems and our psychic capabilities, everybody's energy talks, and we can. That's a more life of complete alignment when we are tuned into our deeper realities, and we can take better choices in our life then. So yeah, this is how it started. Then I started doing healing sessions, and people just started coming. And I was just having fun. For me, everything happens with fun. So earlier I was designing magazines, it was fun. And then I started doing healing sessions and people started coming, it was fun. So it just went with the flow.
I was talking to you earlier about how when I was younger in my career, being a doctor and being very scientific, I loved these topics, but I always felt like, well, this doesn't make sense. I can't, it's not scientific. It's very woo woo. And so I would say I don't believe in these things. And then, fast forward to where we are today, there isn't really a separation between the science and the things that you're talking about. And we're actually they're actually doing studies to prove there are actually auras and there are these energies and there's these quantum connections and things that I just thought, oh my God, people are going to think I'm crazy if I talk about this.
Yeah, we are in a beautiful time right now where mathematicians like Robert Edward Grant, they are proving all of these processes and what's inside the pyramids with scientific calculations of sound codecs and pyramids in sacred geometry, where scientists are talking about this. There's Institute of Heart Maths, which many years it's been doing so many researches, and there are so many validations to all of these things, energy healings and activations that we do. For example, I was talking of age reversal. So there is an old Indian yogic technique called Brahmari. It's a breathing technique where we close our ears and we close our eyes and we make a humming bee sound inside. And that, a team of researchers in the early 2000s led by Sten Lunding, they found that normal breathing versus Brahmari, this humming sound, it produces 15-20 times more nitric oxide inside our nasal tracts. There's nitric oxide, and that is what we need. That gets released and it gets consumed within few seconds. When we do Brahmari for 10-15 minutes every day, it goes into our lungs, and that is what sets the regeneration process in action. That's a true age reversal technique. So there's so much of science there, that so-called woo-woo spiritual activity of an olden era is doing scientifically to our system. So there's so much research to validate now, and it's beautiful. As you were talking about aura photography, as I was saying that there was this Russian person who developed this Curian photography, I think his name was Dr. Kurian, and where we take pictures and we put it through a software and we can see a person's aura, the yellow, the orange, the green, whatever it is, and if somebody is down, their aura is completely gone. And even with bioresonance scientific equipment these days, people are doing that. It's beautiful.
What do you think that people over the age of 40 need to know just for, to live their best lives? I mean, I know that's a big topic and you'd probably be here for hours, but if we had to kind of whittle it down to a couple things, what would you say that we really need to know to be vital? And
yeah, so I would say I would divide this answer into phases. Like there are many things that you need to do physically. And there are many things that when you align your physical things like detoxing, giving your body. So in our 20s, we eat a lot of junk food, which is all right for that time. You're in college, you are enjoying. But gradually, when you move to your 40, usually all of us these days and the new kids the new generations are so focused on their health. So if we start eating more natural and more higher vibrational energy vibrational food, where the energy is coming directly from the plants and we are not overcooking it, and we are doing every month we are doing some detox, like having celery juice. Celery is like, wow, it's like the one of the topmost things for detox. And I myself do it often. And fasting, little bit of fasting, for whatever 1 day 2 days, if you can do just on salt water, you add some Celtic salt to your water and hydrate yourself, and just take some green teas. And if you do 1 day or 2 day fasting every month, these are very healthy habits, because these kick in after 14 hours of fasting. The system kicks in inside our brain and body, where it starts cleaning the system. It starts removing the zombie cells, the dead cells. It's like deep cleaning of the system, like you do deep cleaning of your house. So this is your house of your spirit, your present life. So these are the physical things which help. And eat high vibrational food more, where there is natural energy. Then don't eat what I say as processed foods.
As I say, cookies and cake probably don't fit, and candy bars probably don't fit high vibrational foods.
Yeah. But I would say, like in Vastu we say that in the home you should have two kinds of things. Either they are useful or they are pretty. I say the same for the food. You have two kinds of food. Either it's high vibrational healthy food, or it is happy food. But a proportion of 80-20. So
Yes.
you can have your happy food 3 times a day, but once in a while in a week, you're having your cake. I love tea and cake, but I make my cake with almond flour or, natural flours, and I put natural sugar like dates, not like white sugar. So why not? It makes me happy. It cannot go against me. So that comes to the physical health. And emotional health is usually around 40. If you are a married person, a married woman, your kids are grown, they are living their own life, everybody is busy. So it's a time for a quantum reset. Even if you're single, it's a time for a quantum reset, because it's when you get time, because somewhere you are probably established work-wise at a mid-level, if not high level. So you have to, and you should, if you love yourself, take out some time to really heal, rejuvenate your mind, body, energy system. And today, in this time when we as human consciousness are going through this massive shift in consciousness, it's a time for a new education. So in whatever capacity, 1 hour every day or 1 hour every week, whatever works, we have to understand these inner systems. We are such high empowered beings having these inner high empowered systems like heart. So scientists of, researchers of Heart Math Institute, they found that heart has similar specialized cells like brain. So to understand all of these things, and there are 40,000 specialized cells in heart, they function similarly as brain, and it was not known earlier, many years ago. Even a few years ago, it was not known. And these cells are 60 times more powerful than the cells of the brain. Isn't it amazing? So it's time to understand all of this, and then there is a little heart coherence activation you can do. It just takes 5-10 minutes. You just keep your hand on heart. You do deep breathing, longer exhalations, because when we do longer exhalations, it's sending a message to our brain that we are safe. we are secure. And that's when parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. And that's our rest, relax, digest, and regenerate state. So these are small things which, with the help of science, we understand better. And this is the time in the 40s that we need to reset that clock. Otherwise, if we are going with the old paradigm, then the body starts going down after 40s, in 50s, 60s. So this is a time that we connect with this new information available where science and spirituality are one, and we start activating our regeneration, our age reversal processes. Because you do it every day, a few things or few times a week, it takes some time, and few months, few years, it is completely in action. So for example, I mean, I'm not boasting anything, but just calling A, B, B. I'm 54 now, almost 54.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I want to know what you're doing.
Yeah. So I do all of these activations, my pineal activation, my heart coherence every day. So it regenerates the energy. And this is the time we are reaching now. We have many cases in Japan and many places on earth where people are living up to 120 years of age. So it will increase in the coming time. It will become 150. It will become probably 200, I think, by the next 2 decades. So if we learn all of this, we are living then our higher frequency beingness in the present body, not affected by all of these factors.
And I talk to patients all the time too that total wellness is like a 3-legged stool. You have to have body, mind, spirit. And as a physician and a traditionally trained physician, there's only so much I can do for the body. I don't have, the ability other than suggesting some of these things to do anything for the spirit or, or the mind. And these are things that people have to do themselves.
Yeah.
And the examples you've given, it's not like it's expensive. They're free. It's not like they're time consuming. Yeah. So when you're going through some of these techniques that you're doing, how long does it take you?
So what I do is, like you asked me about the health after 40s, my thing to first go to few things I will share, which are very 2-minute things, but they really keep you in your alignment and your body, kicked in that age reversal thing. First thing I do is awaken my lymphatic system. So I have this trampoline. I jump on it for 3 minutes and I wake up my lymphatic system because it's our inner drainage system. If it is active, it takes care of so many things. It just drains out the toxins. It cleans your system. But most of the time, because of the lifestyle we've been living in the last so many decades, it's more we are just sitting all the time, eating wrong food, sleeping less. It just our lymphatic system is usually blocked for everybody. So to activate your lymphatic system, if you don't have a trampoline, then you tap your body. And there's this vagus nerve, which goes from the brain to the spine and via the spine to our gut. It connects our brain with our gut. So activate that. So, you can use tapping or you can do that jumping. I do both. It just takes 5 minutes. I do both. And I tell my body, if you add intention, so it's like something you are doing with something else running in your mind. So you're half focused, it gives you less result. But if you're completely in the moment, what we call as, consciously aware, mindfulness. So I do it with mindfulness and I talk to my body. Hey, my body, I love you. I love my lymphatic system. Open up, wake up. I love life. So just say a few happy things to yourself and say it out aloud, actually. Why not? Because voice is also a tool. Sound is a tool. So I do that in the morning. And another thing that I say is that sleep well. Sleeping well, the most natural things, eating well, sleeping well, and doing some exercise, some energy, moving yourself. They just take care of you. They are the most simple things, but more underrated. So I am very, very sorted about my sleep. And I sleep for 9 or 10 hours if I'm not woken up. And I love that because a lot of healing and regeneration work and body cleansing work happens during sleep. And I also take it to the next level via, saying some intentions before going to sleep. That, I've had a good day and whatever doesn't work for me, as we brush our teeth before sleep, we do our physical cleaning, I do my emotional cleaning. that all good, bad, ugly, negative things, I just breathe it out of my system. I take the learning, I let go of the emotion, and I anchor and integrate that. So these are few good steps, practices, and they just take 2 to 5 minutes doing these things. So they are they take care of us.
Another thing I was thinking about is in today's age with like social media, they say that we're more connected than we ever were before, but yet a lot of people feel lonely. But at the same time, we're all connected to the quantum field. So I'm wondering about this quantum field, and then this loneliness is happening. Maybe we're not connected to the quantum field like we're supposed to. And I don't even really know what the quantum field is, so I'm going to have you explain all that.
Okay. So, first of all, what is quantum field? So, the quantum field is all that ever was, all that ever is, and all that ever is going to be. The field of experience, the field of consciousness that is all around us and all inside us also. So, we are not separate from it. So, at energy level, psychics like me, if I see all of us connected. I see a weave of energy lines, and where there is happy frequencies, I see light connecting us. Where there are some sadnesses, dark emotions, I see black weaves, but I see a weave in the quantum field. Because I literally breathe in, sleep, wake up in the quantum field, I'm talking to people all the time there. So at times I forget to message people because I've already talked to them in the quantum field. So it's very funny. So it's a field of existence. Basically anything that ever was and is in that field, but that field has waves and particles. Basic physics. Everything is created from waves and particles. When we put intentions or whatever we are thinking every day, that's going and affecting the quantum field within us, and via that the field around us. So as we say, whatever you are focusing more on, energy goes where focus goes. So we are creating that, and we don't know we are such empowered beings that we are actually creating our life every day. Nobody teaches us. Actually, it should be taught in schools. That how with your vibrational frequency of your thoughts, everything has frequency, every emotion, every thought, you're creating your daily life, you're attracting situations. So this quantum field now we are teaching all around the globe. So many therapists are teaching that with your intentions, and I will add with your 0.1 hertz frequency of heart coherence, you can align with this field and you can create a life of choice, but there are certain basic elements to create that. One is that how you connect with the quantum field. There are 4 emotions that Institute of Heart Maths has recognized as the emotions that bring us in that frequency of 0.1 hertz coherence. It's called coherence. So it's love, compassion, appreciation, and gratitude. So these are the 4 emotions that bring us in that field of 0.1 hertz frequency. And when we align with that, we touch our heart center, the center of the chest, and we do deep breathing, longer exhalations, is when that field starts getting activated inside. So that's when, doing 5-10 minutes of this breathing, you visualize a life of choice, whatever you want to create in your life. You put your intentions, but I would say visualize it and feel the feeling. It's the feeling that starts collapsing the waves around you in the quantum field and creating that. So you go one day, you spend 20-30 minutes creating a life of choice, feeling the feeling. If you're thinking of a new home, I say touch the furniture, go into the kitchen, smell the food, because the brain waves change. When you're feeling you're already living there, the brain waves change and the brain waves start matching that frequency. And whatever your inner waves are matching is what the outer waves of the quantum field of the universe around you start matching. So you create that, but then you don't go for 20 days. After 2 days, the energy starts going down. So that's why we say you go there consistently every day. Spend some 15-20 minutes and create that reality and feel the feelings that you're already living there. Touch the things, smell the things, because the feel brings it together, it closer. So that's when it starts getting created. It collapses the waves and the waves start forming a pattern and creating something for you, so that that reality starts coming near and near you, and via synchronicity you start attracting it. You go somewhere, you meet somebody and they open the doors for you. If you're wanting to attract a nice partner for yourself, you go somewhere and you meet somebody. So that is how, when you do this work, synchronicity starts happening in your life, and you meet people, you are at the right place at the right time, and that's not like wow magic, or that's not like wow some unexplainable spirituality. That's science. That's science at its best, and now we are understanding it. That how in the quantum field the waves and the particles collect together, and how we can create with our intentions, and the feel is the magic thing that creates it.
I think that's so important for people to understand because, I mean, everybody has the power to do this. And I mean, some easy examples are like, have you ever thought about somebody and next thing you know, they're calling you or you run into them? Like that isn't by chance that, you know, you attracted that. Sometimes I get frustrated trying to explain this to patients because I see people who get very, I don't want to say the word stuck because stuck sounds permanent. Stuck isn't the right word, but they're really kind of caught up in their negativity. And they'll make comments about like bad things always happen to me. Like I have one patient, unfortunately, beautiful woman, and she's like, oh, every time I have something done by doctors, it gets messed up. And I'm trying to figure out a way, maybe she'll listen to this podcast, to try to explain to her, like, you're actually attracting that into your, you know, your being because you're kind of stuck thinking about that all the time. And I think maybe it's hard for people to take the first step to kind of get out of that way of thinking.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So I can teach a few very simple tools because I've been doing this since last more than 19 years. That I say there are always two vicious cycles. So you choose either. There's either a negative vicious cycle or a positive vicious cycle. So, and it is inevitable. If you do something and something bad happens, your response is and conclusion is, oh, bad happened. Then again, when that bad happened, gives you a bad feeling. When it gives you a bad feeling, you conclude, oh, I will not do this. So it's a vicious cycle, bad feeling, bad action, again, bad feeling. So to break that, you have to go to the technically, you have to train your brain, your mind to go to the positive vicious cycle. Initially, you have to push yourself. Initially, you have to use logic. To step out of that loop, you have to use logic that, listen, I'm in a negative vicious cycle. I'm giving energy to that. I'm drawing those conclusions. I'm again attracting that. So just jump out of that. Just do certain things that keep you in good humor. And it doesn't have to be something very serious, like you have to sit for 2 hours in meditation. No, just create happiness. If putting green nail paint gives you happiness, do that. Go out with friends. Listen to some great music, dance. Just change your state. And change your state for a few days without stopping. You know, that's when you can jump out of that vicious cycle. You have to really change your state, because if you go into sadness and negativity and depression, then it will keep on keeping you in that loop. So you have to understand it logically that I have to push myself, and you can use the support of some friend or family member to keep on reminding you, I'm doing this for 6 days, 7 days. Keep reminding me to keep myself in high energy zone. So keep on doing some positive activities which give you happiness naturally. You don't have to push yourself to do that. Whatever it is for you, walking, cycling, swimming, going out with friends, watching some nice TV shows, whatever it is. Just do that so that your energy and the reins come back in your hand. Because when we are happy, we are feeling light, our reins are back in our hand, and that's when our parasympathetic nervous system is operating. So first step is that, and second is then you take yourself somehow in the positive vicious cycle. Do small things which you know cannot go wrong. That, okay, I'll do this one small step and this is giving me a positive result, and then anchor that positive result, repeat it 10 times in so many words. It happened and it's good and I'm going in the right direction. So it's like giving yourself incentive, basically, that now something good is happening and I'll increase it. I'll increase it step by step. So just take small baby steps, keep on increasing the positive cycle, and you'll eventually move out of the negative into the positive. And with all the good things that you are doing, so I would say before sleep, if you're doing 3 things for yourself, one for your body, one for your mind emotionally, one for, if you're a working person, for your work, or if for your children, then you sleep happy. So do some 3 things, small things, just go out for a 10-minute walk. And you're like, oh, I did something for my body today. or do some detox activity, do something, play with your kids, and you'll be like, wow. Or do some action that was pending for your work, do that. So you sleep better when you have accomplished those basic things in every area. And these are the small tools that can take you out of the negative cycle into the positive. And one important thing emotionally is gratitude. At times we forget when we are in our, not so good times, and that happens to all of us. We forget about the good things in our life. So there's always something to thank about. Thank God there's roof on my head. I'm not sleeping on the road. Thank God there's food on my table. There's hot water in my taps. There's so much to thank about. So yeah, if we start with that, we start realizing, oh, I have certain good things in my life. So anchor with that. Whatever works, anchor with that.
I have to say, I know that I've experienced this myself. I used to come home at one point when I was really into like the beginning of my career where it was really difficult, and I'd come home every day and I'm like, today was the worst day of my life. And I would come home every single day. My husband said to me one time, he goes, did you ever think that today was just a day and that maybe you need to like kind of like readjust your thermostat? And then even like fast forward, like years later, I started doing gratitude journaling and writing down things. And then I started noticing like, you know what? I haven't had a bad day. And I can't even tell you the last time I had a bad day. When like, at one point I was like, every day was bad. Like now, and I'm like, and then with the gratitude journaling, I see so many more things that are happy in my life. And it's like, oh, everything's great.
Yeah. That's when we write it down, we realize there's so much to thank for. Why am I cribbing? Yeah. That puts the focus in the right direction. That's a very good activity, actually.
Why do you think that people then end up having these like midlife crises, like where they're all of a sudden like, I have no purpose, I don't know what I'm doing? Like, because when you're young, it's almost like, oh, like life is all ahead of you, and like I gotta, do all these things, and then all of a sudden there's this time that comes back by, and you hear it from a lot of people, and they're just like, I don't know, like.
So what happens is, like, I will take a usual life that, somebody's working day in, day out, at home or at work, at office, wherever going. And there comes a plateau. As I said earlier, for if we are talking for just women or both men and women.
Both men and women.
Okay, yeah. So there comes this time where you have reached to wherever you had to. And at times I have seen that after living a certain life for 10-15 years, around the age of 40, people realize that they actually don't like it. Many a times that's the cause, because you feel unhappy and unfulfilled inside. You're like, oh shit, I made a wrong choice. But the thing is, and what we are learning now in the new age is, you can always start again. You can always start afresh. I started doing my healing at the age of 35. Earlier, I was designing magazines, although I was enjoying that also. But I'm saying you can always switch to a new life completely. Who says you can't? That was the time when in 40s people, this was like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, at the age of 40, people used to think, oh, now we are getting old. Because 40 and 50 was old age. Now, the parameters and the definition of old age has changed. It begins after 70, in the 80s. People feel so energetic and active even in their 60s and 70s. So the parameters have changed. We have to change our mind. We have to change our thinking. So after 40s, usually that plateau is basically because there are hormonal changes in the body. There are actual hormonal changes happening. Your body as a physical vehicle has been working day in, day out for 40 years. There are things shifting inside. But the thing is to align with that shift and help your body in not going down but rising back again, in learning these new age techniques of how to heal the inner systems, your mind and body, so that the process of age reversal sets in. Otherwise it's a sad feeling. Oh, my system is going down. Oh, I'm not that energetic. Oh, I'm not that happy. Oh, I made wrong choices in my life. And the hormones are shifting and the hormones are making you unhappy, especially in women after menopause. There are hot flushes. There is a lack of sexual drive. There's a lack of sexual drive means sacral chakra, the lower abdomen, means there's a lack of drive for enjoying life, actually. There are many things that can fix that. And, you work at your energy level, you activate your heart center, you activate your age reversal, and even things simple like eating vitamin B. I've heard many cases. There's a friend of mine, by eating vitamin B6, her sexual drive and this all of this was fixed. Just a vitamin deficiency it was. So there's so many things that you can do because the hormones are changing. But at this time, this system which has supported you for 40 years, you have to support it back now by eating the right food, the vitamins, by realigning with energy and do some energy activation, some simple rituals like gratitude, which changes our brain waves. Just connecting to your heart, it changes our brain waves. It connects. The more you do this 2-3 times a day, you are operating out of parasympathetic nervous system. It's always resetting your system to a higher frequency vibration and triggering age reversal. So do it couple of times. Why not?
I like too the thing that you said about the humming and the nitric oxide, because that's like a big area right now where there's a lot of medications that's geared, even like especially the sexual medications. So like Viagra is helping with the nitric oxide. This is help with sexual function. But then also a lot of the supplements that are coming out that are kind of in beetroot, like they're based in beetroot, which can raise your nitric acid. But for free, we could just hum. We could just.
You have to hum like a bee. If you want, I can teach you also. Just close your ears with your thumbs so that you don't hear any outer sound. And you close your eyes with first two fingers and keep the rest 2 fingers here. And you have to make the sound of humming, but your teeth should not be closed. But I would highly encourage you, close your lips, do the humming sound with your teeth closed and then with teeth open. You will see the difference.
Oh, yeah, wait. Which am I supposed to have it closed or open?
Open. So when it's open, you will see the energy hitting your crown, your brain, and then coming down to your heart. It goes up to your brain and it comes down to your cardiovascular system, to your lungs actually. So the nitric oxide that's getting released from the cavities behind the nose and in the brain are coming down to our lungs basically. And that's where we consume it and it starts helping and healing us.
It's actually interesting because there's a company too, like I said, this is stuff that they've known about for like centuries, and now that's become like a big like thing in the biohacking world and in the integrated medicine world. And there's like they make actually even little I don't know what you call it, like filter papers where you can like put your saliva on and you can test your nitric oxide levels.
Yes.
And I'm like, but like, I mean, you don't really need to do that. We know that we just need to kind of be doing something like this.
Yeah. And you can actually tap on your sternum bone. This is called the higher heart chakra, the thymus gland, to activate the thymus. Just tap it and you can do a sound of Om or It's actually. And tapping this, it opens up this space, your thymus gland. And these are portals, thymus gland, heart chakra, this nitric oxide. These start rejuvenating you, healing your system, and they accelerate and trigger age reversal things inside the body. Yeah.
This is wonderful. I could talk to you for hours, but is there anything that I haven't asked you that you really want people to know?
There's so many things. I would say that you have lived maybe a neutral life or a happy, joyous life, but this is a time where Earth and humanity are going through a shift, and this is a time to do some action in realizing your inner power. And there's so much of things available online, on YouTube, on Instagram, but yeah, go do your research on the people you're following, how they are living their life, what have they achieved in their life, because to be very frank, we are living in a system where there are all kinds of people. Not everybody is saying something that they have researched and they have seen validated in their life or in their client's life. They're just picking information and just sharing it just to get more clients. So just be very careful and conscious of whom you're following. But there's so much available right now. And such easy things, like you can go to my YouTube channel and Instagram. I share so many do-it-yourself tools, and just weave them in your everyday life. A 10 minutes night meditation, that's there on my YouTube. A 10 minutes morning gratitude meditation. You just start your day with, hi, hello sun, hello clouds, hello, I'm so happy and I start this day. Thank you, everything. I mean, it's just natural positivity you are anchoring in. And it works. It works wonders. So don't wait that something will come and somebody will come in your life to change. No, it is you. You have all the power inside you. You have all the tools. Basically, just with breath and visualization, you can activate every system inside you. You don't need anything else. You just need breath, visualization, and intention. That's it. And certain practices how to do that. You can learn it all, and you can really take your life to the next level where you are the producer, director, script writer of your life. You're not living by chance. You are living by choice.
I love that. Thank you so much, Celestine, for being with us. Where else can people find you?
So you can find me. Celestine Runu is a handle name on Instagram. Celestine Runu, same on YouTube. I have many videos and I keep sharing more. Or you can email me at celestinerunu@gmail.com. And if you have a query, or if anybody wants to experience psychic channeling, I gift a mini taster session via your podcast. If anybody is curious what their energy is talking, so you're most welcome. Just email me that I'm happy to explore a taster session, and I'll share a link to book that session, a 15-20 minute session. And yeah.
That is wonderful. So everybody, make sure you reach out to Celestine. Go follow her on social media. Make sure not just follow. Make sure you guys are liking and commenting and sharing what people are doing, because let me tell you, I know it's a lot of hard work out there, and I've been following Celestine, so give her some love back. And don't forget to make sure you're also liking and following us, and that you come back again next week for another episode of 40s Forward.
Life gets better after 40, clearer vision, brighter glow. I'm not fading, I'm ascending. This is the best I've ever known. Stronger, bolder, unapologetic. I'm just getting started, don't you see? 40s forward, this is my time. The future's finally looking like me. We got wisdom, we got fire, we got nothing left to prove. This is power, this is freedom, this is living fully you. Life gets better after 40, this is where I rise and shine. 40's forward, full of purpose. I'm stepping